The idiom, foxes in the hen house, goes back at least as far as the 1580s. It describes a set of circumstances in which someone who should not be trusted has been chosen to protect someone or oversee a situation. The choice involves someone directly unsuitable for that task, such as choosing a bank robber to guard a bank. You're probably starting to get the picture regarding the Labour Party Maori Caucus. The Maori Caucus MPs in this government are behaving like predators loose among the prey. They've been allowed so much power it is akin to putting foxes in the hen house. The two leading foxes are without a doubt Willie Jackson and Nanaia Mahuta. These two have important roles in Cabinet. Jackson is Minister of Maori Development and Mahuta is the Associate Minister. She also holds, as we know only too well, the local government portfolio, and in my view, and most people's view, these two are behaving in ways which are hostile to the kind of democracy that we New Zealanders believe in. Jackson gave a bizarre interview a couple of weeks ago on Q&A, appearing with David Seymour. It was a big mistake on the part of Jackson to front with Seymour, as on the rational front one is not comparing apples with apples. Jackson, like many of his caucus colleagues, they have an awful lot to say, but most of that is incoherent. According to Jackson's, democracy has changed. Now, what that even supposed to mean, no one seems to understand. I don't think Jackson even understands it. Jackson was asked, but he couldn't say how democracy has changed. To me, at any rate, this has sinister implications for anyone not of Maori extraction. Jackson can't define a democracy because the dictionary definition of the word doesn't suit his narrative. Put simply, his form of democracy is the tail wagging the dog. When it comes to the idea of co-governments, the same applies. The tail wags the dog. This is not democracy as we know it, and not democracy as we want it. Jackson is trying to implement his own agenda, which is anything but democracy. He is doing this through the power of numbers in that Maori caucus, and is taking advantage of a weak, wokish party leader, a Cinder Ardern. Either that, or it is at Ardern's behest. Jackson is in the hen house. He would have, you believe, fighting to get more money, but for them to improve the lot of his people. How successful has he been? Not very, you know. If the facts and the figures are to be believed, unsurprisingly, the power for the course Maori are consistently used by Labour as voting fodder. History shows they have fared much better under national governments, both in terms of treaty settlements and in trying to improve their lot in life. Labour, on the other hand, are more than happy to have them rely on welfare handouts. The desire for a Maori health authority is nothing more than a means to extract even more money from you and I, the taxpayer. Maori Health for Maori, if in fact it would work, could have been done from within the Department of Health with the same results. Setting up a separate entity with hundreds of more civil servants won't do anything to further improve the health outcomes of Maori. Mahuta is ruffling even more feathers in the hen house. For starters, she removing council's water assets, which are owned by the ratepayers. Council will lose control of these to 4 regional bodies with iwi input. This is nothing more than a backdoor means to involve Maori ownership of water, something they have long argued for. The evidence for this is even though the large majority of councils are against three waters, Mahuta will ram through the House after a sham consultation process. Never mind foxes in the hen house. With this gaggle of ministerial nincompoops all showing some extraordinary stupidity that they do agree and support the crazy Cindy, we now have pigs flying past the window.